Hello, hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. You know, I was just thinking about Bernie Mac again. In the movie, I believe it was Life, he did this funny little voice, funny voice rather. And he goes, "It's gonna be trouble." No, actually, it was Players Club. It's gonna be trouble, 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 trouble. And then I just drove by this dumpster, and I've been noticing a lot of dumpsters, trash cans, dump trucks, trash trucks, and I could take that as a negative in people trying to project towards me, but I do not. I know I'm not trash. I know I do not belong in the dumpster. However, what God just spoke to me and just said to me was like, there's trouble. People are in trouble. There are a lot of people that are in trouble. And, instead of, spanking, a child, like when a child gets in trouble, they get spanked. God has already done quite a bit of spanking. He has caused a lot of distress, a lot of problems. And I say he has caused. No, these individuals that are trouble have caused distress and strife and struggle and headache and sadness and despair in their own lives because of the trouble that they have caused for other people. And God has gone and he has cleaned up. He has fixed a lot of what was going wrong in the lives of his children. And the things that were going wrong in the lives of his children were not because of things that they did wrong, was because of what other people said and or did against his children to cause things in their life to go wrong intentionally because they wanted to cause trouble. And instead of reflecting on their behaviors, their wicked behaviors, instead of reflecting on the things that they have done wrong, they reflect and or think on what other people, God's children, are doing in their lives. And they want them to go down the wrong path. So what they will engage in is their wicked behavior in causing trouble in the lives of his children. And it's trash behavior. These people, what do you do with trash? I want you to think about trash. At my old house, I did not like having a trash can in my house. I did not like having a trash can in my house. I did not like for there to be any kind of trash in my house, in my home. I set up on my back patio. The recycling bin and the trash bin. So whenever I had any trash, I would go out to the recycling bin or the trash bin and throw it out there. I wanted it outside of my home. I didn't want it in my home. So you're talking about if it was a paper towel, and I even got to the point where I stopped wanting to use paper towels. I got to a point where I stopped wanting to use toilet paper. I found means to be able to not have to buy paper products. Personally, this was me. I don't want trash around me. I don't want trash piling up and building up, and then you have to, take out the trash bag once a week. No, I want the trash out immediately. I don't want it in my home. That's the same for people. People that are creating trash in your life, people that are creating toxicity in your life, people that are not of any benefit in your life, you need to get them out. You need to remove them. And when you remove some of these people, right, when you stop talking to them, you stop engaging with them, you stop giving them any attention, you stop giving them any information about what it is that you have going on in your life so that they cannot try to hex and or curse what it is that you're doing, what it is that God is having you to do. When you've done the necessary, when you have made the choice and decision to remove certain people from your life and they don't want to leave you alone, they don't want to stop causing trouble in your life, they don't want to stop being a problem, a disturbance in your life, and you've done everything that you can to remove these people from your life, you've stopped engaging, you've stopped talking to them, you've stopped inviting them out, you stopped going around them, you've distanced yourself from these people, and they do not want to stop causing trouble in your life, it's time for them to be taken to the trash. But you don't have to take that trash out. God will take that trash out. Because they're trash. It's trash behavior. It's on repeat. They're refusing to stop. They are not ceasing their toxic behavior. They want to keep going. They're not seeing and or noticing the caution tape. They're not accepting that the reason why they're losing certain things are going awry in their life. Things are becoming chaotic. Things are not going the way that they expected and or planned. They're not taking the hint. They're not seeing it, that their behavior is what has caused a lot of the backfires in their own lives. They don't want to reflect on what it is that they've done in their life to get them to where they are today. They want to look at and assess what is going on in the lives of God's children, the same ones that they've been causing trouble in their life. They want to keep investigating and still keep poking and prodding and still getting in the business that is none of theirs. And God has to take the trash out. He has to remove the trash altogether. What usually happens to the trash that you put in your trash can? It gets picked up by the trash can man, right? By the trash man, right? It gets picked up by the trash truck. And then where does it go to? It usually goes to a landfill, right? But you know what they do with some of the trash out in the countries where they do not get people that come, trashmen to come and pick up their trash? You know what usually happens? They usually burn. They usually have a burn bin. And they burn all the trash. It doesn't just go to a landfill. It gets burned. What happens when people die? They get taken to a cemetery, and I pass by cemeteries usually once a day. I pass by a cemetery. They get taken to the cemetery. Or what? They get cremated. God has to take the trash out of our lives. People, individuals that do not want to leave us alone. That do not want to stop harassing and bothering and stalking and trying to stop what it is that God is having us and calling us to do in our lives. So don't be surprised when you start hearing of people passing away. Don't be surprised. Thank God for removing the trash from your life, because more than likely there was someone that was causing a lot of trouble in your life and not doing you any good. Gotta go. Bye.